everyone. My name is Jess. I'm an indie author. I have these two books out, Lorence and the Silver Shadow. They're light fantasy, somewhat cozy, just fun. I enjoyed writing them. Anyway, I'll put links down below. I'm also a podcaster. I'm on TikTok now. I'll put that down below as well. Anyway, enough of the intro. So I don't really know completely what I want to do with this channel right now. It's kind of turned into just a book thing, which I'm kind of okay with. I just don't want to think too hard about other things. Still writing, of course. Still, I will let y'all know when books come out and things if y'all are interested in that at all. But today I just kind of want to talk, you know. I want to talk about a book I finished last night, and it is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This book came out a couple, almost said months. It's been 1 month. This book has been out for a month. It's still pretty new, pretty fresh. So I just want to talk about it a little bit because this book messed me up in the best way possible. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So Divine Rivals is a book. It takes place kind of during a World War I era is what it feels like. Basically, it's enemies to lovers. The two main characters work for a journalist, or they're journalists, so they work for a newspaper company, and they're both kind of competing for this position. And one of them comes from a family that has new money, is the main guy character, and the girl comes from basically nothing. And so they're kind of had that rival going on. But the thing that makes it interesting is there's a war happening, but it's because of these gods that the humans had buried previously, but where they buried the gods, magic is seeping up from the ground and kind of is making weird things happen in the real world. So there's it's a war book, so if it's not my thing, but this writing was incredible. So I'm not going to spoil anything, so we're just going to keep it very much of my opinions and kind of the things that I felt while reading it, and kind of, you know, I just need to get this off my chest a little because this book has been haunting me since yesterday. First of all, the characters are so funny, and the banter back and forth is so good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the two main characters end up writing magical letters to each other, and one of them doesn't know it, that they're writing to them, but the other one does. So it's kind of like one of them falls for the other one before the other one does. I don't think that made any sense. But I love that trope. It's so good when one of them falls first and has to kind of convince the other one that you do have feelings for me. Anyway, so good. So the characters, so funny. They are so quick and just so mad at each other, and you feel that tension from the very beginning, which I thought was really good. But the writing itself, there were points where my sweet, wonderful partner in life was asking me something, and I felt like a suction cup was pulling me out of this book. I have not felt this entrenched in a book before that I did with this one. I just felt like coming out of it, getting back into the real world was hard. And I haven't felt that way for a long time reading a book. Yeah, I think I was thinking about it, and I think it's because I kind of stray away from books that are harder reads. This one has some trigger warnings of warfare if you're not into that. Some family members pass away rather suddenly, so there's elements of grief too. So if those are not things, they're not things I'm into. But this, I felt like the author handled them with such grace and such beauty, and she didn't make it feel like she was shoehorning those things in. The tensions are so high, and the characters have to fight through so much that it just made it such an engaging read. I will also say there's a little bit of a cliffhanger-ish at the end, so if that bothers you, wait till the next book comes out. It's coming out in April. We have a whole year to wait, which is another reason why I kind of wanted to talk about it, because I'm so ready to read the next one. Yes, so the writing was beautiful, and the story has left me a little haunted after reading it. And I think the reasoning as to why is because, how to describe it? It's like when a book leaves you, first of all, wanting more. I definitely want to read more. I want to know kind of what happens to these characters that I've learned to grow, that I've grown with, I feel like, in the 5 days I've been reading it. But the writing is just, it just draws you right in. Like, it was so hard for me to get back to the real world that I finished half of it in one day. Like, it took me 4 days to get through half of it, but then after that I was like, we gotta just finish it, because this book is haunting my waking day, my waking hours, which I haven't felt in a really long time. And I think it's because the stakes were so high. I think it's because she handled these things that are really hard and are slightly heartbreaking with such grace and understanding, and didn't go places that I didn't want to go. They were uncomfortable for sure, but I didn't feel taken advantage of, and I didn't feel like the author was shoehorning those things in. I felt like everything happened in this book for a reason, and it really shows kind of, in a fictionalized way, of what warfare does, and that's a really hard topic to handle, but I felt like the author did it really well, and didn't make me feel like I was gonna die through it, because sometimes when I'm reading books, and I'm a more sensitive reader, but sometimes when I'm reading things, I just feel like things are in there just to be in there, and I just feel like they're in there because the author wants to shock you somehow, or it's just visceral for the sake of being visceral. And while there's art in that, and while I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, that's not what I like to read. So I felt like this author handled it a lot better. I've read a couple of her other books, and I've absolutely adored them. I feel like she's really creative in the things that she writes, and just handles things with a whole lot of care. So anyway, I just needed to talk about this book because it's been haunting me. I finished it kind of late-ish last night, and I've just been thinking about all these things and trying to figure out why this book has attached itself to me so, and why I've had so many feelings about it going into it. So if you're interested, I'm sure your local library has one, or you could order it, anywhere books are sold. It was just absolutely lovely. Again, if the trigger warnings are things that you're not into and you don't feel comfortable reading it, by all means, please don't, because this book is a lot. But it kind of reminded me why I like to read, which is to get into characters' thoughts and feelings, and to feel the same things they do, and to be with them while they're going through things. And I think that a lot of books kind of try to reach this level, but not all of them totally make it for me. Not all of them make me feel like I know the characters as well as I know these ones. Like, I feel like they're my friends now. And I feel bad for all of the things that they've been through. And I'm trusting the author to get us there in the next book, that things are going to be okay, because it just kind of need them to be okay. So if you want to wait till next year too, totally fine. I just felt like I needed to hop on and talk about it. So anyway, this channel might turn into a book channel for a little while, and that's okay with me if that's okay with you. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this, or if you're interested in reading it, or what kind of books have left you feeling haunted by them somehow. Like, they just left you with the feeling that you wanted to continue the story, but also that they really took you on a journey. So, I don't know, I'd be curious, or video games, or anything that you like, I'd be interested and curious to know what those things are. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll hopefully see you next week. Bye.